Hello and welcome to our project. We're Group K and our app is called TrailStar. We are a hiking navigational app.
Hi, and so I'm Jeffrey. I'm a sophomore studying computer science, and some of the things that I did for the app were link the front end user input from the search results with the backend API calls, and I also created a saved trails page. So when the user sees a trail that they like, they can select it and save it for later. I also implemented a map kit functionality to represent the trail's location, and I built the backend module for the weather API call.
Hey guys, my name is Jiayi. I am a computer science and sociology double major. I'm also a sophomore. I designed basically all the UI layouts for the home and search pages, so like any page except the detail page. And I also made the app icon, like the little mountain with the star, and also our launch screen. And I also help finalize and connect and implement basically all the front end work. We use things like the picker view, the date picker, and we limited the front end elements so that it matches with our backend like classes and also search algorithms.
Hi, my name is Monica Hu. I'm a computer science master. So my contribution to this project is I designed the detail view page, and I also work with the front end stuff, such as implementing and connecting the detail view page, storyboard elements.
Hey guys, I'm Mehul. I'm a senior studying computer science and finance. And me and Isabel were able to work on creating an initial draft of the homepage. And along with that, we were able to create IB outlets to connect the front end to the actual API calls and arrange storyboard UI elements as well.
Hello, my name is Will. I'm a sophomore studying computer science. My major responsibilities involved building the backend modules, which included connecting with our trail API, as well as creating kind of a search system to allow us to find nearby trails and nearby like weather data about those trails. In addition to that, I created a lot of the kind of data structures for our teams, like use cases, and I made a sorting system to kind of arrange the trails based on their like relevance. I also worked a lot on kind of making the image generation to kind of add some spice to our app and make it a little bit prettier. And I helped a lot on a few of like kind of the front end Swift classes and kind of integrating the front end with the back end. Right. So our main motivation for making this app is that a lot of us are hikers or just outdoorsy people. And we wanted to make an app that we would really use kind of in a day-to-day context. So part of that included we wanted to make just finding trails easier, and we wanted to make it easier to keep track of trails for later and kind of access that data as you need it. So with that in mind, we crafted our app with that functionality as kind of the backbone of our application. And that includes functionality for searching for trails, saving trails, and kind of locating trails based on specific parameters.
And so with that, we decided to create TrailStar. And so this is a 4-step use case that we use. And so we allow the user, so our initial process for designing this was basically letting the user discover a trail that they wanted to discover trails that they want to hike, and then navigate to that trail by seeing the location of that trail on the map view and all the information on the detail view. And that leads us to learn, which is learning about key info, which is weather on the day of their hike at the trail, the length of the trail, and some description, about the trail. And then finally, if they realize that the user, if they realize they like the trail, then they could save it for later and keep it in the saved tab page and view it later for future reference.
Okay, now in terms of our priorities, here's kind of a breakdown of what we were thinking about. So firstly, in terms of length, we wanted users to be able to customize the length of their trails in order to kind of fit their needs and personal priorities. So anywhere from 0 to over 10 miles. Secondly, we wanted to be able to provide detailed weather information. So this comes in the form of temperature, chance of rain, and specific weather conditions in order to make sure that the hike is to their pleasing and to their needs. Thirdly, we allow the users to be able to plan trails for either that day or days in advance to be able to pull data such as weather and what the trail is going to look like in order to plan the hike for whichever day they want to go on a hike. And lastly, we allow for search in every US city via our API.
Right. So kind of giving an overview of our app. The first thing you'll see when you launch it up is this homepage. So this immediately finds nearby trails for you to kind of access and maybe kind of get you thinking about where you might want to be going. These nearby trails give you kind of some basic brief data, including kind of the area it's located at, the name of the trail, and the length of the trail. And then at the bottom, you'll have access to this navigation bar, which you can use to kind of access the different functionality outside of the homepage.
This is essentially a screen for our search functionality, like our search engine. So basically it has custom like search modules to find relevant trails. We have inputs that are like dates, city, state, and we also offer users with 4 options to choose their ideal trail length. Essentially this connects to backend modules and then also communicate with the trail API to basically find trails and make that data accessible to our app. And also we created a personalized sorting algorithm based on the user inputs.
Once you've searched for your trail, then it brings you to this results page, which has some brief information about kind of like the name and the trail length and location, similar to the home page. And it'll generate these in an order based on an algorithm we created that combines kind of different elements of the user search features. Right now, it is kind of limited to the trail's length, but you'll see that in this example, the user has requested kind of a shorter-ish trail, maybe 1 to 4 miles, and so the trails within that length are listed first. And if you scroll down, you'll get to see other trails that don't match the criteria as well, but they're still there just in case you kind of change mind.
So now we get into the detail page of our app. We have many informations in this detail page. In the bottom of this page, we can see there's a detailed descriptions of the trails, and you can also see the updated weather conditions for the specific hiking dates that you are looking for. And in the top part of this page, you can see there's a map kit integration to allow users to find and travel to the trails. Lastly, we can also see the capacity to save trails for later.
And finally, we have our last functionality is trail save. And so this allows users the ability to heart, which is like, add a trail to their Save Trails tab, as you can see on the right. And essentially from here, this uses core data to allow for persistent data storage. So the user can go at any time, save a trail from the trail search and view it in the trail saved tab. And when they click onto the trail saved tab, they can see a detail view, just like the same details from the detail view that they saw in the trail search.
Right, so thinking about kind of our future ideas with this app, where we'd like to take it, kind of the first functionality we thought about was making a profile system, maybe connecting it online so that you could share trails with your friends and really create communities around these hiking trips. Another thing we'd like to do is to allow users to add their own data to our system. Right now, we're using like an outsourced API, but we could think about making maybe a local server, which can have supplemental data. So if users want to search for a trail nearby, they can have kind of a mix of the API's data and our own databases. We also thought about adding a feedback system, maybe some sort of 5-star rating that users can give trails, which would help us refine our search algorithm and get users the best possible trail options. The final thing is that a lot of our images right now are just stock images, and we'd love to integrate like the Google image search API to combine it and allow for users to see actual images of the trail before they go.
All right, so this is a quick demo of our app. So this is the homepage. When you launch the app, you'll see this. These are some trails. And basically, as you notice, like you can see some trails that are near your geographic location. And if you go to the search tab, you can basically search for trails based off of a particular location and the date you want to hike. So let's say I want to hike tomorrow on April 20th, and I want to hike in Greenville, South Carolina. I'll type Greenville and I'll search for Greenville, South Carolina. Okay. And let's say I want to hike for 1 to 4 miles. And so I'll click Find Trail. And as you can see, this is a list of trails that come back from our search query. So Lake Coniston Nature Park, I can click into this and you can see that there's a map view. There's the title of the trail. You can see the whole detail view here with the description and the weather on April 20th. And we also have the ability to add this trail to the user's, to the saved page. And so if you can go over to the saved page, you can see Lake Codesty Nature Park is also here on the saved page. And you can see the detailed information there. All right,